But when you take courage out of your pocket, it's hard to put it back in.
Mm.
And we're live, Cuzzo.
Welcome back to
Hit
the
him with that intro. Look at you. You already...
I'm a little excited, man.
A little
I'm a little
excited,
excited.
man.
You know,
All
we're
right.
in a little different studio setup here today, you know, as everyone can see. But first and foremost, we want to say thank you guys for watching and listening. Welcome to episode 29. We are here in downtown Aurora at the City Hall. We have some good friends of ours that, you know, were fortunate enough to allow us to use this space today. So we want to say thank you to everybody that's involved with that. And let's get right into it, man. What would you like to talk about first?
Man, let's talk about the new studio real quick, man.
Okay.
This is super exciting. It's a little cheesy. You saw saw how Malcolm was getting started.
Yeah.
But let's take it back to the beginning, man. I mean, did you think it would be that we'd be here in like a official studio, not my basement no more?
No, yeah, I think one day, one day that was the thought, you know, but
Right.
to have this kind of opportunity so soon, no, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that it was going to happen.
Right.
You know, but I think it's a testament to the work that we have put out up until this point.
Right.
You know, and to be honest with you, I mean, we couldn't have done it without an amazing list of guests that we've had on.
Right.
With all of our viewers and listeners. I mean, we don't have, you know, millions or anything like that, but the people that do watch and the people that do support, you know, without them, you know, we wouldn't be anywhere.
Here,
So thank you to you guys for watching and listening.
Yeah, for sure. So what have you learned along the way with everything, basically the classes we've been taking with all these interviews?
Yeah.
Do you think we were able to do you feel like you knowingly put together everything you learned, or was it just like your subconscious just doing the things that without thinking about it?
You're referring to like specifically everything
to get to this
to
desk with this microphone.
Yeah,
you know, like
No, yeah.
Because you gotta think we learned a lot from Rome all the way to our latest episode with Nida Nancy.
Yeah, we have. I think the one of the main sticking points, right, as to why we started this is mindset.
Right.
It's putting yourself in a certain mindset, believing that you can achieve something. Number one, we try to push and promote taking risks, right?
Yep.
I think that there's times in your life where you're going to make mistakes. You know, things aren't going to go the way that you plan them to, and that's okay. But you can't be afraid to try. You know, obviously us even shooting this, you know, shooting it. This is the first time shooting in, you know, something like this. It's different. It's weird. It can be intimidating. It can be challenging. But
very much so. Yeah.
You just kind of got to jump off the cliff, man, and see what happens.
Yeah.
So secondly, I would say that having the confidence,
right?
You know, having the confidence to say like, yeah, why not? Why not us? Or why not me to have the opportunity? You know.
Yeah.
But what about yourself, man? What would you say are your biggest takeaways?
So yeah, I would add you know, I would agree with the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Confidence, and then something that we already knew, but it almost like, you know, clicked again was when I was out in LA for Phil Handy's event, where he talks about courage, and he said when you take it out of your pocket, is summary. But when you take courage out of your pocket, it's hard to put it back in. You know what I'm saying? So now that you've already came out, gotten in front of a camera,
right,
gotten in front of a microphone,
right,
you know, it's like it's hard to be like, oh, okay, now I'm afraid to do that now,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
I think that was like one of the biggest things I took away from this whole process. You know, because people finding out that you're doing a podcast is nerve-wracking.
True.
You know,
true.
you don't know what people are gonna say.
Yeah, you don't know what people are gonna say. You have friends and family that, you know, either are gonna support you or talk about you behind your back, but you know, you just have to understand that comes with it.
Right.
That comes with the territory.
Yeah. So like even, you know, all the things that some of the people on TikTok that you may see where they talk about the process of when you start something. You know, first you get made fun of a little bit. you
Mhm.
know, and they kind of question what it is you're doing,
Mhm.
and then they're like, "Oh, that's actually kind of
Eh,
cool what you're doing." You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Or they'll come and start asking you how to create it,
how
how
to
how to start their own podcast, right? Or
right,
what equipment are you guys using?
correct,
Different things like that. And
yeah,
it is pretty
yes,
interesting to see how that goes and see
yeah.
how
So
that
I
flows.
that's why I was like, man, we have to start it off with reflecting on where we started,
Mhm.
how we got here,
Mhm.
what we learned.
Mhm.
That way, people, because we want is we want you guys to see that the same things that we're putting out,
Mhm.
you know, we're also learning from, but then we're also taking action because it's one thing to just absorb it, you
For
know,
sure.
and then
For
another thing
sure.
to actually put it in practice.
No, for sure, for sure. And this is only the beginning, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's a plethora of guests that we want to bring on here,
right,
that we're excited to hear their perspective and also to
right.
get to allow them to give us knowledge,
Yeah,
for not just us, but our viewers and our listeners as well.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Because all these things that we're talking about is easy to apply to another
hmm and
anything else.
and you want to know what I'm really proud of is the guests that we've had on have all been local
Yeah,
up until this point.
yeah.
We have talked about, trying to reach out to
Branch out.
some bigger names, but at the same time, we're a small startup, right?
Right, right,
So, um, we were born here in the city of Aurora,
right,
right? We're homegrown.
right.
Pretty much everyone that we've had on, except for I think a couple guests, are all from Aurora, and I
Right.
love the fact that we've put the people from our city,
Yeah.
in positions to just try and give more exposure to them as
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
There's
Definitely.
been so many small businesses that have allowed us to come into their spaces
Right.
and spend their time with us and tell us how they got started and
Yeah.
all that. And I think
Yeah.
that says something about what we've been trying to create.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So, but yeah, that's all we wanted to cover first.
Hmm.
And, you know,
Hmm.
shot like we said, we want to thank you know, obviously all the guests
Hmm.
and Nick especially and you know the
Yeah,
whole team right here that's
definitely.
putting
Yeah.
this
Thank
together.
you. Thank you, Nick.
We
Appreciate you,
appreciate you
brother.
guys. But Mexican independence is upon us.
Right around the corner, sir.
What do you got
September
going for
16th.
what do you got going for that?
So I believe it's Saturday, if I'm correct. I believe it's Saturday. But
Yeah,
I don't have anything planned in particular,
right.
but I know that the city as always, man, they've already started doing it. I mean, we've got the Mexican flags
Right.
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. Cars,
It's
blankets,
coming.
it's here. It's here.
Tacos.
It's here. It's tamale season is upon us.
Right.
It's right around the corner.
Right.
But over the weekend, man, I know you were out of town, but I
Yeah.
was here, and the city of Aurora got to host. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many years they've been hosting it, but it's
Yeah.
called Fiestas Patrias,
Yeah.
and they hold it right here at Rivers Edge Park,
Yep.
and they bring out a bunch of big name bands, and it was beautiful to see the community come out
Yeah.
and support it.
Yep.
I mean, not only did we have the Latinos from here in the Aurora community, but we also had Latinos from the Chicagoland
Coming
area
everywhere.
coming
Yeah.
coming out and supporting
Yeah.
the event. And then you had a lot of local vendors, selling their gear, selling their merch. Obviously, food, is a
Right.
big part of the culture. So, man, I was proud of the city. I was
Yep.
proud of being Latino. I was proud of the way that I didn't see anybody, and that's one of the things too. When sometimes when you have these large gatherings,
Right.
things happen,
Right.
but to my knowledge, there was no serious,
Yeah.
incidents. Nothing bad happened.
Yep.
And yeah, man, I got to give credit to the city for
Yeah,
that.
they've done a
You
great
know.
job of moving it. You know, the whole River's Edge thing
Mhm.
is a great space to have
Mhm.
things like that
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. But let's talk about um because your mom's from Mexico,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. My mom's
What
from
part?
Tamaulipas,
Hey,
Mexico.
put us on the
La
map.
Ciudad de Victoria,
Yeah, put us on
which
the
is
map.
if you're not familiar with Mexico, it's northeast Mexico. It's a state that kind of is like a bordering, along the Texas.
It's a border town, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
border
border
state.
border state.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where she grew up, man, and she came here in the late '80s, with the American dream.
Right.
Like so many of our parents that are immigrants,
Yep.
wanting a better life for themselves. What about you?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
obviously
we're cousins.
Tamaulipas, yeah, so because we're cousins, so we're obviously from the same area.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, my grandma and my mom, they and my uncle, they came over.
Now, do you remember the story that they came over here with? Like hearing it from your grandmother?
Yeah, I mean, they started out, obviously you cross right into Texas, and
Mhm,
then some of my other aunts or tias were here in Aurora.
mhm.
For some reason, Aurora attracts everybody, but
Well, the
so
iron yeah, I
you
know,
know what I'm
right?
saying. So
Yeah.
they came over here, and then we've been here ever since. And my tias went back actually to Texas,
Mm,
so they're all back over there. And my grandma decided to stay here, and here
gotcha.
we are.
And what's ironic about my mom coming here is her name is Aurora.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, what are
Yeah.
the
That's
chances
there
of
you
that? It's
go.
kinda,
Yeah,
weird,
that's
but
kind of dope. Yeah.
no, man, it's, reflecting back, because I'm half black and half Mexican.
Yeah.
Um, being Latino and being Mexican is something that and I've shared this with you before. When I
Right.
was growing up, because most of our family stayed back in Mexico,
Right.
I didn't get exposed to as much of the culture as I would have liked to.
Mm.
So now
Yeah.
being older, right, and knowing that one day I want to have children, right,
Right.
and knowing that they're also going to be Latino, I really want to make sure that I try and retap and
You tap into.
yeah, and get back
Yeah.
into my roots,
Right.
because for a long time, man, I felt like there was a big hole missing, you know?
Mm.
So, no, man, and Latino culture and the community itself is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing,
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
know?
What would you say you learned? Um, what did you take away from your mom's journey or your family's journey from Mexico that created this mindset that you have now to get to where you're
Mm.
at? Like what did you?
Perseverance,
Yeah.
perseverance, resiliency,
Yeah.
I think that and to be honest with you, there's times where I reflect on it and I'm just like, why, what am I complaining about?
Yeah.
Right? Whatever little
Yeah.
problem or issue that I may have on a day to day basis,
Right.
coming from another country, not knowing the language, not
Yep.
knowing anyone, I mean, other than your small group of family
Yeah. Family. Yeah.
that's over there, right? Or
Yep.
that was over here for them to come and stay with. Outside of that, man, you're literally, throwing a shot in the dark
Yeah.
and just hoping and praying that, things work out. And
Right.
thankfully it did,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say resiliency and perseverance. How about yourself?
Yeah. Hard work. I would
Yeah.
say like
Yeah.
you know we watch all. I mean, anybody who has family that immigrants in general,
Mm-hmm.
they're very hardworking people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to take a little bit of that and then apply the new knowledge we learn as we develop, generations, like, the kids born, they get
Yeah.
smarter. People get smarter, you learn new things.
True.
But if you add hard work to that,
Right.
I mean, you're gonna put yourself in a better position
Right.
always.
Right. Right. Right.
So I
Right.
took
Right.
I took that away from, my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, seeing her go to school and full time
Mhm.
and then work full time
Mhm.
and then have me and my brother.
Mhm.
I'm like, when you think about it, it's like, man, how'd you do all that?
How did you do all that? Yeah.
But it must be possible
Oh,
since
for
it was
sure.
done.
For
So
sure. For sure.
I think that was another thing, was learning that things aren't impossible. That whole thing of, anything's possible.
Right.
Sometimes it sounds like,
It's a cliche,
yeah,
Yeah.
but in reality, when you sit and think, and if you have somebody around you that's done some,
Mhm.
incredible things, you're like, oh yeah, if I just chip away at it,
Mhm.
then it can be done.
For sure. For sure. Now, do you remember going back to Mexico as a kid?
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, it
It
was it
was
was
fun.
definitely fun going back. It sucks that we can't go back now like we used to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely good times in Mexico, man. You learned a lot just being outside and,
Mhm.
roaming roaming the streets of Mexico,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because
yeah,
yeah, as kids, man, I mean, obviously we didn't have cell phones and technology back then, so it was
right.
just like, you hang out with your cousins that at that time when I first went down there, obviously I had no idea how many cousins I really had,
Yeah, you
you
got a lot of
know,
cousins. Yeah.
and everybody that, as of Latino descent probably has, 30 cousins just like I do,
Right,
that
right,
they know about and then probably don't know about,
right.
but yeah, man, I remember going pretty often as a kid. My mom would usually go every summer,
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is, my mom would drive us down to Mexico,
Man, we would drive.
and she wouldn't. And she admits it now, but she
Right.
had no idea where she was going.
No
She
GPS.
no GPS. This is back when
When you bought the maps at the gas station.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that big atlas.
Yeah.
with the map. But
Yeah.
she would drive down there. She wouldn't know where she was going. She'd get lost.
Right.
and somehow, some way, 3 days later, find her way in Tamaulipas.
I don't know how we did it, but
I
we
don't know
did
how
it.
we did it. Yeah, I don't know how we did it, but we did do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. But
but funny. And then let's tap into the funny part because now we have the no sabo generation,
we do,
which is
we do, we do.
I mean, it's funny because like you got people with super Mexican names, and then
Right,
they're like, nah, I don't speak Spanish.
right, right. I think my mom was gonna name me something. It was like a really unique
Fucking
Mexican
Juan or
name.
something.
No, no, no. It was gonna be like a
Jose.
Aztec name or something.
Oh,
No,
Aztec
no. It was
name.
gonna be like I can't remember. I have to.
Oh, you have
I'll
to ask her that
yeah. I'll
one.
ask her. I'll ask her.
Yeah,
But my dad was like, "What?" He's like, "No, we're not naming
yeah,
him that." But no. But do you still speak Spanish on the regular now?
yeah. I had
Okay.
I had a slow start because
Mm-hmm.
I mean I did speak Spanish growing up with
Mm-hmm.
my grandpa because he doesn't speak English,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it was always very broken because it was like we spoke English at home,
Right.
which I think it was just the way our parents adapted
Yeah.
to whatever the culture was, and
Yeah.
I don't know if if it was back then if speaking Spanish was frowned upon, almost it seemed like when we first came over.
I think.
So I think I don't know if that was something, but
Yeah.
because now it's like kids aren't speaking really at
Yeah.
all.
I think it stems more from the fact that at that time, the mindset of some of those parents was, I don't want my child to be the thorn that sticks out,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't want to teach them Spanish, but I came over here so that they can become indoctrinated
Yeah.
into the American
American.
way,
Yeah.
you know? And obviously, I'm sure some of those kids will probably feel like, hey, I wish you would have taught me Spanish because
Right.
it would have been more beneficial. Not
Oh
saying
yeah,
they still
definitely.
can't learn it,
Yeah, you can
obviously,
still
but
learn it, but
um yeah, I think that's is where it more stems from.
yeah, because you see other cultures and they don't lose their language. They
No.
speak it at home
Mhm.
first
Mhm.
because you're gonna learn English anyway at
Mhm.
school.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and my brother, he doesn't speak it. He doesn't
yeah,
speak Spanish at all.
yeah, my little brother
No.
CJ, he can't
Yeah.
like he can speak some stuff, but there's no way he can get through a conversation. And then my
Yeah.
other brother, he can understand it pretty well and
Yeah.
speak it, but it's like broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
just takes practice.
No, it
That's
does.
all.
It does.
It
It
just
does.
takes practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would say like, overall, like I think coming from, immigrant family has, helped put myself in better positions. And I think it's helped a lot of other, kids from immigrants. I mean,
Mhm.
even if you see like some of these professional jobs,
Mhm. Mhm.
there's a lot of Latinos coming out of school and
Oh yeah.
getting these jobs, whether it's firefighters.
Yeah.
I mean, police is a big one
Mhm.
that they're starting to get hired for.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I mean, even here, here at the city,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
We're everywhere.
we're everywhere now. We ain't just in the kitchen.
No, no, sir.
Yeah,
No,
we're
sir.
everywhere now.
No, sir.
Yeah, because I think there's actually a statistic coming out where I think the Hispanic population might be
The second most,
at yeah, like
if not the most.
yeah, and eventually over time.
Nah, that's pretty
So
accurate. I mean, that
yeah,
that that makes sense, you know.
yeah. But you got your fun facts in here. Why don't you hit them with
I
those
do
fun
have some
facts
fun
before we
facts.
transition?
So let me go ahead and pull those up for you guys because I want to make sure that we are as accurate as possible here on the Electus podcast. Every now and then we mess up. We tell you guys all the time we're not perfect.
Right.
But so Mexican Independence Day is September 16th, and it happened on 1821. But before that, there was a gentleman by the name of Miguel Hidalgo y Castilla, and he was a Catholic priest and a revolutionary leader who was responsible for the cry of independence. And he did that cry of independence on September 15th, 1810. And his cry led to the charging up of the people of Mexico to stand up against the Spaniards and to fight for their independence.
Mm.
And that was roughly about 300 years after Spain had invaded Mexico. So, I mean, just hearing that, right? Like,
Yeah.
hearing about one individual choosing to, this cry, almost this plea for his
Yeah.
country, for his nation. I mean, I could only imagine at that time what that would have been like,
Right.
to hear that.
Yep.
But then only 11 years later, to actually see it come to fruition.
Right.
Now 11 years is a long time.
And you know what's funny is what do we talk about, man? Doing things in decades.
Decades,
So
yeah,
it
it took
goes
it took
back. It goes
yeah,
back to even then.
it took a whole decade for that to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can only imagine, I mean, obviously, this is just a part of human history and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, I can only imagine what that would have felt like to finally have that moment of independence, to
Yeah.
say that, we're no longer going to allow,
Yeah.
this group of people to tell us what to do, how to do it, when to do it,
Right.
etc.
Right.
So yeah, that's my little fun fact
Yeah. There you go.
for the day
There
here
you
at the
go.
Electives
Taking courage
Podcast.
out of your pocket, Miguel. Never putting it back in. That's what's up, man. And then tying tying that all together.
hmm hmm
Obviously, we got our boy Canelo
We do.
fighting September
We
30th.
do. We do. We do. He's
He's
2 weeks
got
away.
2 weeks away. You
Yeah.
got Canelo still or what? Because I know you're on FanDuel.
So
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 I need to know. I need to know
yeah,
what
yeah,
your pick
where to
is.
place your bets? No,
Yeah,
I'm not the
you're not the guru
I
yet.
no, I'm not the guru. I'm not the guru. I mean, hopefully one day, right? But
Right,
no, probably not. Probably not. But
right.
yeah, Canelo, stylistically, this is going
Yeah,
to be a challenging fight for him. He always usually has a an issue with guys who move a lot. Charlo's a guy who's got good feet, good
right.
jab, good right hand. But I'm looking for Canelo hasn't looked good in his last 3 fights, in my opinion. So what I'm looking for him to do is kind of use this fight as a stepping stone to get an even bigger fight
Yeah.
down the road, like a David Benavidez,
Okay.
or a rematch with the guy that beat him by the name of Dimitri Bivol,
Oh,
I believe
Bivol.
was his name.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm looking for Canelo to make a statement.
Okay.
It's September 30th. It's the month of Mexico.
Right.
I mean,
He's got to
it's
have a big win, like unanimous.
yeah,
Yeah, he's got
yeah.
to.
And from my understanding, he had an injury that occurred in either the previous fight or the one before that caused him to not look as good as he's been looking.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see.
Oh
But
yeah.
hey, he always puts on a great event.
Yeah.
He always represents for the country of Mexico. And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, man, I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, got Canelo for sure, man.
Got him.
Always.
Yeah.
Always got to roll with Canelo.
Yeah, but I'll be honest though, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlo upsets him.
Mm.
Now, in order to upset Canelo
Yeah.
on, a month like this month, and the day and the
Right.
significance of it all, he would have to knock him down or knock him out. And that's
Mm.
going to be really
Like he
hard.
ain't gonna win by
It's
decision.
not I don't think
Yeah,
he
I don't
beats
think
him
they
by
could do it
points.
to him.
No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
No, for sure. All right, man. Well, and then the last thing we want to get into,
Mhm.
a little more serious.
Mhm.
Today is 9/11 that
True.
we're shooting.
True.
Um,
True.
so prayers and thoughts to all those families who lost somebody on that
Yes.
crazy
Yes.
day.
Yes.
You remember where you were at?
Yeah, man. I was in grade school. I was in 5th grade. And back then, man, we don't have, I mean, TVs like this.
Yeah, but
It
did you
was
guys have a TV?
we had, which TV we had.
We
We had
had
the one
yeah,
with
because
we had the one that had the strap around it.
Yup.
It was on top of a cart, and there was a
Yep.
strap that basically kept it from falling.
Yeah.
And the teacher rolled it in, and she
And
she
she
was
turned it on.
oh yeah, she was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe it, And they I can't remember if I want to say they stopped school early.
Yeah,
I think because I remember walking home.
I just remember school was just like on a pause because we were just watching
Yep. It was kind of like the
TV.
entire nation was in disbelief.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa,
Couldn't
what,
really
what just happened?
yeah, we couldn't really digest it at the time,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously I was 10, so I
Yeah,
really didn't
I was 11.
I really didn't really understand what was happening.
Yeah,
But yeah, we just wanted to bring that up. Obviously, we know that a lot of people were affected by it.
Yep.
And,
yep, yeah, for sure, man. So we
Yep.
definitely wanted to do that for everybody in the military too. Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Because without you guys, we couldn't be here either.
Yep.
Who
and
knows
shout
what
out
would
to my
happen?
brother who's over in Poland right now.
Dang, Isaiah's in Poland.
He's in Poland.
Shout out
He's
Isaiah.
in Poland. He just got deployed. So.
Oh man.
Oh
yeah. Shout out to my boy Decker too, because he got deployed.
Oh yeah.
This past year,
Okay.
and so he's over there.
He's in Poland as well.
No,
Or-
he's in Kuwait.
Oh, in Kuwait. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
yeah,
Well,
wishing prayers
shout
for
out to
them.
you, gentlemen.
Come back
Thoughts-
home soon.
Yep. Come back home safe, man. Safe and sound.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see you guys when you get back.
Yeah, and with that, Cuzzo, hit him with that outro.
Hey, we want to thank you guys for tuning in today, for watching, for listening. We want to say thank you again to not only Nick from the city of Aurora, but
Yeah.
Alex, who's working behind the scenes
Yep.
on the keyboard for us and is responsible for editing and setting all this stuff up. We also want to give a shout out to Tony, for allowing us to have the time and the space to do something like this. But hopefully, moving forward, we can bring some really solid guests on for you guys.
Yep.
And yeah, we want to say thank you and we appreciate it. All right. Take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.